Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Quitniak. I'm back with some more second grade science. In my last few videos I was talking to you about the 3 states of matter. Do you remember what they are? Solid, liquid, and gas. And we talked about how those 3 states or kinds of matter are all different. Well, today I'm only going to be talking about solids, but what we're going to focus on are the physical properties of matter. The physical properties of matter, okay? And we're only going to be doing solids today. When we talk about the physical properties of matter, that means we're going to be looking at things that we can observe. And we're going to use our 5 senses to observe the different types of solids that I have with me today. Okay, so the 5 senses. Here we go. We're going to use our hearing with our ears. We're going to be touching the objects. We're going to use our hands. We're going to taste with our tongue. We're going to use our eyes to see, our sense of sight, and our sense of smell with our nose to observe the different physical properties of my different objects that I have with me today. Now remember, I'm only doing solids today, and what we're going to be looking at are color, and I listed different colors. Something so simple as color is something that you can observe about matter. Size. Is it big? Is it small? Is it tall, short, long, thin, thick? The texture. How does something feel? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it bumpy? Shape, circle, a rectangle, a triangle, a cube, and the hardness. Hardness means, is it something that you can easily bend, or can you squish it, or is it really solid and hard? Okay, so all of those different things. So I have a few different things with me. Most of my objects are pretty small. Some are bigger than others. But what I have with me today is a sponge. I have a coin. And you should all know what this is. Let me get it into the screen there. Can you see it? I hope you know what this is. It is a quarter. I have another type of money, dollar bill, $1 with George Washington on it. This is a cotton ball. Here's a rock from my backyard, a stick from my backyard, a little piece of foil from my kitchen, my phone cord, and a cracker. So now I'm ready to observe the physical properties of these solids. So I'm going to go right down the line. Okay, so first I'm going to pick up my sponge. I'm going to look at the size. What do you think? Do you think this is small or big? Look at how small my fingernail is. So right, I would say the sponge is small. Another simple thing we can see with our eyes is the color. It's green. How about the hardness? Well, I'm squishing it, bending it, so it's not very hard. How about the texture? That's something we feel, remember? Well, it's smooth on 3 sides, and then bumpy on the other side. Okay, and it's kind of shaped like a rectangle. So those are the characteristics, the properties of this little sponge. All right, next, moving on to our quarter that's worth 25 cents. So something I see about the quarter right away is it's still kind of small. It's not much bigger than the top part of my finger. What else? The texture. Well, if I rub my fingers across it, it is kind of bumpy because of the pictures on it. And then if I run my finger along the edge, that's kind of rough too, rough and bumpy. Let's see, the shape, it's round. The color is kind of silver. Something else I notice about it too is that it's shiny. See how that light is reflecting off of it? My quarter is shiny. It's pretty hard. I can't bend or flex or dent it. And I would say the color is silver. A nice silver coin. Okay, my sponge is sticking to my sleeve here, so let me get that. Okay, so there's our quarter. All right, here's our dollar bill. What could we say about our dollar bill? Let's observe this. Let's figure out what the physical properties are, things we can observe and notice. So the first thing I see is that it's bigger than the quarter. It's bigger than the sponge. It's green and white. Let's see if I put it down. It's smooth. I don't feel anything sharp or rough or bumpy. But as I'm playing around with it, I observe that it does make a noise. It's crinkly. I can hear it. It's in the shape of a rectangle, right? Let's see. Do you think this is hard? I can fold it. It made a crease in it. I can roll it. So do you think this is hard? No, it's not very hard because I can bend it, roll it, fold it. Okay, made a crease, so it's not very hard. And the colors are green and white. So there's our dollar bill. All right, what could I observe about my cotton ball? Well, the first thing we can notice is that, again, it's pretty small. The size is small. It's kind of thick, though. If I compare it to the quarter or even the dollar, it's much thicker than a dollar bill. Even though the dollar is bigger in size, you can see that the cotton ball is thicker. The texture, it's soft, squishy. The shape is round. It's kind of like this, like a sphere. It's not very hard. Again, I can squish it. It's white. There's the cotton ball. The next thing I have is my rock. So if I look at my rock, I can see that it's kind of in an oval shape. It's kind of a small rock. It's not very big. It's a little bit thick. It's not very long. It's smooth. The texture of it is very smooth, and I can tell that by feeling it, rubbing my fingers on it. I talked about the shape, kind of like an oval. It's very hard. Very hard. It makes a noise if I knock on it. It's very hard. I can't bend it. I can't flex it. I can't dent it. And the color is gray. So that's the rock. All right, now here's the stick that I found. So as you can see, what could we say about the size? It's kind of long, thin and thin. The color is brown. can see that. How about the texture? It's bumpy. It's smooth in some places. It's smooth here, but then if I keep running my finger across it, I can feel that it's bumpy. What about the shape? Let's see. This shape kind of here is kind of like a part of a triangle. This down here is just kind of short and thin, not very long. And it's hard. It's pretty hard. This part here is pretty hard. This down here, I can bend and flex this. So there's already differences just in this stick that I found. And like I said, it's brown. So there's the stick. The next is my little piece of foil. And this you can probably find in your kitchen. So my shape is rectangular. It's not very big. It's smooth. The texture of it is smooth. I run my hands across it. The hardness, look at what I can do to it. I can bend it and squish it. So do you think it's very hard? Nope, it's not very hard at all. And it's a nice silvery color and shiny, just like the quarter. The quarter is silvery and shiny, but the quarter is very hard. You can't bend or flex it. Not like the tin foil. Look, I can even put it into a little ball. All right, next I have my phone cord. So as you can see, my phone cord, the size is long. It's thin. It's pretty smooth. If I run my finger along it, I don't feel anything bumpy or sharp. The shape, what would you think the shape is? Well, the ends are kind of like rectangles, but then the cord itself is just like a long, it's like circular. It's round. And I can bend and flex it. So do you think this is very hard, the cord part? The cord part isn't very hard. I can squish it and bend it. But how about the parts that you plug in? These parts I can't bend or flex. So even within this cord, it has different physical properties. And it's white with silver ends. All right, the last thing I have is a cracker. So now with all the other objects I have, all my other solids, the sponge, the quarter, the dollar, the cotton ball, the rock, the stick, the foil, the cord, I couldn't taste any of these things because they weren't food. So what do you think I'm going to do with the cracker? I'm going to taste it. So the cracker, I'm going to look at the shape. The shape is kind of, looks like a square. It's yellow, I would say, in color. It's pretty small. The texture is bumpy. See if it smells. It smells like a cracker. It's kind of hard, but I can break it. So let's see. I'm tasting it. It's salty. It's crunchy. It's not squishy, but I can break it. So now, even though these are all solids, they all have different physical properties. And the physical properties are what we describe, what we use to describe matter using our five senses. So if I wanted to find two of my objects that are white, what would I pick? Right, my phone cord and the cotton ball. Now, I want the object that is bendable and flexible and squishy. Well, the cotton ball is squishy, but I need bendable and flexible and long and thin. So which one would I pick? Right, the phone cord. Okay. Now I want something that is silver and shiny. So I'm going to pick my quarter. What else was silver and shiny? The foil. They're both silver and shiny. So now I'm going to use something else to find what I'm looking for. I want the solid that is hard, that I can't dent. It's not flexible. Which one would I pick? Right, I would pick the quarter. I could also say I want the one that's round. And then I would know I'm not going to pick the foil. The quarter is round like a circle. So these were just some very simple things that I found around my house that were all solids. I didn't use any liquids or gases today. Everything in front of me is a solid, and they were just simple things that I found around my house. Most of the things I found were small, but I bet you could go around your house and always ask your mom or dad or a grown-up for permission, and maybe you can go around your house and describe the different solids that you see in your house using your 5 senses and describing the different physical properties of matter. The size, the texture, that's, remember, how does it feel? The shape, the hardness, remember, can you squish it? Can you bend it? And the color. You could look at big things like your refrigerator. You could look at something like a stuffed animal, any of your toys, really just anything around your house, and see what you observe about the different things in your house. All right, boys and girls, that's it for science today. I will see you next week, and next week we'll be talking about liquids. And I want everyone to remember to stay home and stay healthy. Bye, boys and girls.